If you use this tactic, if you use this strategy that I'm going to be sharing with you today, you will be able to triple your productivity. I'm not joking. With this, you will be able to get 3 times more stuff done. The amount of stuff that you get done in 3 hours, you will be able to do it in 1. And the short answer to what this strategy is intermittent fasting. Really, that's simple. At the base of it, it's intermittent fasting. Waking up early, doing the hardest thing first, on an empty stomach. Add some coffee to that, and you'll be surprised at how productive you can be. Now, it's very important that your stomach is empty, that you haven't eaten for a long time, intermittent fasting. Because talking from experience, when I'm like a little hungry, when I'm not digesting, when I don't have food in my stomach, I am 10 times more productive. My ability to focus is 10 times greater. If you follow this tactic, then it could genuinely change the rest of your life. I'm not exaggerating. Intermittent fasting, doing the hard thing first, early in the morning, it can truly change the rest of your life. Now, how I use this tactic is by waking up at 5 a.m., doing some basic stretches. I go and take a cold shower, do some breath work, and then go and do my hardest task, which is most of the time scripting videos. And in that time block, I get so much done. So let's take this strategy step by step. Let's take it apart and let me explain to you how you can use this, how you can optimize your morning, how you can optimize your productivity and get 3 times the results you're getting right now. Now, the first thing is waking up early. Now, you don't have to do this. This is not necessary. You don't have to wake up at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. The point is what you do after wake up. Why I like waking up early is because in that time, in that early time, there is no distractions. There is silence. Everyone's sleeping. And it gives me this nice sense of starting off the day right. Knowing that it's 9 a.m. and I already got a bunch of stuff done. That is why I like waking up early. Now the next thing is doing the hardest thing first. Now what other people call this is eating the frog. Eat the frog. Do the hard thing first. Now where this comes from is, imagine that you are in a restaurant right now and you can eat the best dishes in the world, the most delicious ones, but there's a catch. You will also have to eat a live frog. Now the question is, when will you eat that frog? Will you delay it until you have eaten all the delicious food and then only then, after that, eat the frog? Would you think that it's better to eat the frog first thing, to eat the frog before all those delicious things, to get over it? That you do that hardest thing, eating the frog, and then it's easier. Then you can really enjoy the food. This is where that idea comes from. That it's the best if you eat the frog first thing. That you do the hard first thing in the morning. So do your hardest task in the morning. Your most mentally challenging task. Doing it in the morning. Because if you delay it, it's going to be way harder to do it. If you procrastinate, you probably won't even do it. Because imagine, it takes a lot of effort to do that thing. Now let's say that you have these brain points. And every time you have to make a decision or every time you do something hard, you lose some of your brain points. Let's say you wake up with 50 brain points. You wake up, you check social media, 3 points taken away. Then you go eat a bowl of cereal full of sugar, 5 points taken away. Then you have to decide which clothes to choose, another 5 points taken away. Then you have to talk with them, do this, do that. All the points have been taken away. And when you get to that hard task, you won't have any points left. Maybe that hard task requires 20 points, and by the time you get to it, you have 5. This is why it's so important to do the hard thing first. Because you will not only have more points, more brain points, more energy, more focus, but you'll be able to do it faster and better because of that. And also, it won't sit in the back of your mind that I have to do this, I have to do this today. That won't happen to you. Because you already done that hard thing. You already got yourself over it. And even if you don't do anything else that day, you already made a dent on that day. You already did that hard thing. This is why I really encourage you to do the hard thing first. Now the next thing, the most essential part of this, is intermittent fasting. Doing it on an empty stomach. Now first, let me ask you a question. What do you think? Which man would win the fight if we were to put 2 men in a cage and they were the same, no differences? The only difference would be is that one man just ate his meal, just ate some carbs or something, and the other man is fasted. He didn't eat. Now if they were to fight, which one would win? What do you think? You might think that the guy who ate those carbs, who got the food, he might have more energy, but does he really? After you eat a bunch of carbs, this big food, do you really feel more energetic? Hell no. After you eat a big meal, you want to sit around and do nothing. And the man who's fasted, he will there have that hunger. He will have that drive in him. And the other guy won't be able to compete with him. He will destroy him. The guy who's fasted will destroy the guy who just ate his meal. Doing the hardest thing first in the morning on an empty stomach, fasted, will triple 5 times your focus and your productivity. I'm not joking, I'm talking from experience. I am lot more focused and productive when I am fasted. So before you do your hard task, don't eat anything. Don't eat a bunch of sugar and carbs, because you know how awful you feel after that. You know how foggy your brain gets. You know that you just want to sit around and do nothing. Do it fasted. Don't eat anything before that hard task. This is why it's so good to do it in the morning. Because let's say that you eat your last meal at 5 or 6 p.m. and then you don't eat anything for like 12 hours. Imagine how focused you could be once you wake up not having eaten anything for 12 hours. This is why it's great to do it in the morning. Now some extra tips, this was basically the whole thing. Some extra tips that I can give you is get a specific task in mind. When you're doing that hardest task, don't just think that I'm just going to study. Set a specific task that I'm going to study. Test 3 and test 4. I'm going to solve these test questions. Get as specific as possible so you won't have to use as much brain points. Now another tip is that make sure you get enough sleep. If you're not sleeping enough, there's no point to it. This won't work for you. If you don't get enough sleep, you're messed up. Your whole day is messed up. It will be a bad day. If you don't sleep enough, you will have a bad day. It's that simple. Get enough sleep. Now, if you add coffee to all of this, it can be great. But I heard this from Andrew Huber on a podcast that it's really good if you only drink coffee 90 to 120 minutes after waking up. And the reason is because if you drink coffee before that, you will have this afternoon crash. That you will feel very tired in the afternoon. So if you want to get rid of that, evade that, Only drink coffee 90 to 120 minutes after waking up. So you can do that if you want to. And another thing is that you shouldn't eat a big meal before you go to sleep because it will disrupt your sleep. If you're interested more in diet, I just made a video about it. Link in the description, you can check it out. Another thing is zero distractions while you're working. When you are working, work. When you are studying, study. Put your phone in a whole nother room. Put it on airplane mode. Make sure that you are not distracted. That your eye does not get off your work. Your eye does not get off where you're studying. That you really only look on that thing. Only look on that you need to focus on. Make sure that you have zero distractions in your environment. Another thing that can help is cold showers. Really, don't underestimate the power of cold showers. It will triple your energy. It will make you feel a lot better. And starting your day off with a cold shower is one of the best things that you can do, truly. It's not only amazing for your health, you will feel a lot more energized. You will have a lot more energy. If you have any questions, if you want any advice, I'm doing free one-on-one calls. You can send me an email and we'll contact each other. Now, please share your thoughts in the comment. I'm very interested about what you think. What kind of productivity hack do you use? What do you think is missing from this hack, this tactic, this strategy? What are your thoughts about this strategy? Because what I'm saying might be a bunch of bullshit. So I want some feedback. Not only for me, your comments will also help the whole community so that we can discuss things, so that we can correct each other's ideas, so that we can get to a common ground. So I hope that you like this video. Have a great day and goodbye.